Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Game Rivals. I am your host, Maximilian X, coming to you, as always, from the internets and beyond. And there's not a lot of news, but the news that is there, my goodness, I ca- I don't even want to start with that. I want to end with that. I'm just we're getting to the end of the year, people. The Game Awards are like a month away. The end of the year is near. Game of the Year discussions are going to be starting very soon. I'll definitely be talking about like the year in gaming that I've experienced this year, most definitely. Also, look forward to more collabs coming before the end of the year. Uh, I'm, I'm hinting at that. I'm gonna have a more special guest on um, before the year's over. It's gonna be a fun time. You're gonna see a bunch of episodes um, coming soon, and yeah. Um, so please keep an eye on that. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like. If you've watched this, don't forget to comment. And if you want to keep up to date with all the stuff that is coming on Game Rivals, don't forget to subscribe. With that out of the way, let's get right into the news. There's a bunch of things that I want to cover. I'm trying to kind of keep this episode as concise as possible. I want to start with the new PlayStation that got announced, the Slim in quotes unquotes model. It's officially not called the PlayStation 5 Slim, but everybody's calling it the Slim because it's the slim down model. It is indeed smaller. It is indeed lighter. I think it's like reduced by 30%. It's a smaller footprint, most definitely. Dave 2D had a video breakdown, a literally teardown of the system on his YouTube channel. I watched that. It looks pretty good. I'm kind of curious to see what other uh, tech YouTubers that are probably going to do teardowns um, might find more about it. Uh, since yeah, it was a good teardown by Dave 2D, but even he is like, well, I'm not like I usually don't do this stuff. So like I'm kind of curious to see what other YouTubers in that regard are going to say about that. But at least he showed off how to take off the disk drive because he got the disk drive version. Pretty easy. It's just like two like latches and like you pop it off, and there's like this proprietary connector that connects it to the PlayStation 5. Important thing to note, by the way, should you ever get this new model without the disk drive and be like, oh, I want to get the disk drive, and you're like, oh, the install is pretty easy. No, no, yeah, so you are required to have an internet connection if you attach a disk drive, um, the disk drive, to the system because it has to digitally verify and register that disk drive to your PlayStation 5 Slim. And so, like, this isn't new. It's just after the whole, like, after everything that we've been going through for over the past couple of years when it comes to digital locks on systems. It's kind of funny that they decided that they wanted to do that with this, because seeing as they wanted to stop supporting older systems, specifically like the online stores and stuff like that for those systems, and they did for like the PSP, but not for like Vita or PlayStation 3. And Nintendo also recently announcing that they're going to stop online servers for Wii U and 3DS, meaning that you won't be able to play Wii U or 3DS online as of April of next year, 2024. This does bring a little bit of worry because what what is to stop Sony from 10 years, 15 years down the line, deciding to bring down the verification servers for those drives? then how are you supposed to be able to like attach a new drive to it all those years down the road, right? Especially when it comes to like video game preservation. Um, are they going to allow it to be able to connect afterwards? I don't know. For now, we shouldn't have to worry unless you live in a place where the internet connection, your internet is still kind of crappy. And let's be real, there are still parts of the world that have pretty crappy internet. Just because you live in a place, like me, live in a place where the internet is very good, doesn't mean that there aren't places where these things are being sold where the internet is still pretty crappy. So it's kind of, it's not great, which is where I'm getting at. It's not great that they are doing it like this, but it's not like we can stop them. Um, it's not like we can't stop them. I don't know. To me, that's a little bit weird, a little bit disappointing, but at least it's nice to see that it is easy to attach and detach the drive at the very least. Um, so yeah, make of that what you will. I think it's supposed to come out. I think it's out now or something. It's a little bit confusing. Like it's getting like staggered releases around the world, so I don't know. I think it's out in the U.S. now, or he was able to get an advanced copy or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you were planning on picking it up, or picking up the discless, the digital only version, um, do keep that in mind. That if you do decide to buy the disk drive, or if you have the disk drive and you decide to take it off so that it slims down and looks pretty, that when you reattach it, it does require an internet connection to do so. All right. Moving on from Sony peripherals to Microsoft peripherals, or to be more specific, Microsoft third-party peripherals. So third-party peripherals that work with like Xbox, specifically. Um, yeah, those that are not officially like sanctioned by Nintendo or Nintendo by Microsoft will see their functionality cease in the very near future. As of November 12th, just like in a week of this recording. Um, Unauthorized third-party accessories will not be able to be used on Xbox consoles, meaning that if you want to use a third party controller or what have you on an Xbox console, it has to have like the little certified sticker or logo on the box, which means that it was verified by Microsoft that it is compatible with Xbox consoles. Um, So yeah, this does include everything. They did bring out some updates. For one, um, users that use the USB-C the devices through the Xbox adaptive controller will not be impacted. So that's good because the the Xbox adaptive controller uses the USB connector to hook up like third-party controllers to the adaptive controller so that it can use it for like this for disabled people and whatnot. And those I seriously doubt would be like specifically verified by Xbox because these are just controllers that are used for like a bunch of other stuff. So these are like legit accessibility controllers that you can like hook up to the accessibility controller from Xbox. That is fine. Those don't have to worry at the very least. So that's nice. Um, so yeah, so like I said, third party approved controllers, those approved controllers don't have to worry. It's the ones that are not approved by Microsoft that will have this have impact on them. So if you have some random AliExpress Xbox controller, um, enjoy it while you can because it is gonna stop working on the Xbox at least after an update following November 12th. So there's that. Please keep that in mind. Um, yeah. Okay. So I don't have a good segue for this one, so I'm just gonna jump into it. There's a new studio. Yep, the game industry has been blessed, I guess, with a new studio, with helmed by former World of Warcraft and League of Legends lead Greg Street, uh, who announced a new studio and an MMO that they're working on that is codenamed Ghost. Um, not a lot has been known of this. They have like a trailer that's for the studio announcement and whatnot. But yeah, codename Ghost. So there's a new MMO in the works for those that are interested in new MMOs. Uh, Considering that the studio origin only now has been like announced, assume that this MMO is probably years and years away, unless they're way closer than that. I don't know. Considering that they're not announcing an official title but a project name, I'm assuming that it's still years away. But honestly, who's to say how long he's been working on this um, for a while now? So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's always nice to see a new studio come about, especially one helmed by a veteran of the industry. Especially since he actually worked on like World of Warcraft. He has that experience there. Worked on League, so that the lore stuff and like the character creation stuff and like all that is there. So I'm pretty sure that he'll be able to he was able to put together a good team um, to work on this. I'm sure that they're probably still expanding. So if you're interested, I'm pretty sure they have like openings and stuff on their website. So yeah, the studio is called Fantastic Pixel Castle, um, and yeah, it's here's the thing. New studios is always good news because it means more people get to join the industry through a new studio. I know that mostly they'll start off with hiring veterans in the industry because you do want to have that experience when you're starting off. Um, but yeah, that also usually means that they're open to hiring new talent because you can't always rely on the old talent. That's pretty cool. What is not cool is that Bungie um, recently got God, I was about to say got rid of. They technically do, but what the proper way to say is that they let go of people, which sucks. Um, Roughly 8% of the game unit staff was laid off. Um, Recently and almost kind of quietly too because like they announced it because they didn't and obviously they're not going to announce like, oh, we laid some people off. They did announce that they were delaying the latest um, DLC, what's it called again, the final shape, to I want to say June next year. Yeah, June next year. It was supposed to come out February next year, February 27th, but they delayed it because, well, the development of it has not been going smoothly. Um, and it wasn't living up to their expectations, so they wanted to take more time to polish it, which is good. I mean, it's good, but also not great. I'm sure Destiny like players at this point are used to like the delays. So like they'll come back when when the new DLC drops. But unfortunately, like a pretty hefty chunk of their workforce will not be there to shepherd that. And that probably is also part of the reason why it got delayed. Because if you have less people to work on a project, well, then you also have less time. And not only that, they also delayed Marathon. I don't know if that has um because I think that was supposed to come out next year, and that got delayed. Uh, and I think for a year, which is like okay. I feel like that part is not so much um, that they need to work on the project. I think they delayed it because Sony is reevaluating their commitment to live services. And yeah, because they announced a bunch of live services. Like, remember, this year we had one game from Sony, and that was Spider Man 2 from Insomniac. Everything else that they announced are future games for like next year and beyond, and they're all live services, including Helldiver 2, which is also a live service, which is coming out or sometime early next year. I don't know how that's going to go. But yeah, Marathon being delayed makes sense because they also delayed the factions multiplayer, the Last of Us factions multiplayer game due to Bungie's evaluation of the game and saying that the game is like far from being good enough to be released. So that one has been indefinitely delayed. Um, the thing that sucks, of course, is this follows like a whole almost a year of like layoffs throughout the gaming industry, where about I think the total, not the total amount, but the rough amount is like 6,000, like 6,000 people in the game industry got laid off this year, something like that. Um, like, don't quote me on that one because I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. There was an article about that though. That's not great. So I hope that those developers that got laid off were able to land on their feet. That's why, like I said, new studios being announced is great because that means that the workforce that got laid off might have a chance to apply to these new studios and get some work there. Um, so I hope they do land on their feet, and I hope they get good um, good deals. But they do see it does seem like they did get screwed over because they were offered unvested stocks, which like big tech companies tend to do when they try to retain workforce. However, because they were let go, these stocks were not vested yet, which means they haven't turned into actual stocks, which means they're not getting any stocks out of this, which sucks. And like they used that to keep like the talent when Sony bought uh Bungie 6 months ago. Jeez, like they haven't been there for a year and they're already letting people go despite the fact that they said they wouldn't let people go. So that sucks. Yeah, I don't have a good transition for this one either, so sorry about that. But yeah, so Nintendo had their investor meeting for the past quarter, and things are looking really good. Super Mario Wonder sold 4.2 million units, probably partially because people are super excited about Mario after seeing the Super Mario Brothers movie. After going to, like, if you live in the States or if you live in Japan or if you visited any of these places in the past year, you've probably gone to Super Nintendo World and had a blast. Um, just seeing all the cool Mario stuff and like doing the Mario Kart ride and the Yoshi ride and going to the Toad Cafe and stuff like that. I'm so jealous. Um, I wish we had a Universals in Europe, but we do not have that, unfortunately. Someday I will be going to Super Nintendo World. Not today, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been doing pretty good for them. Um, Divesting like their IPs and like branching out and stuff, and they're going to continue to do so. But one of the things that was brought up during this meeting was earlier, earlier in the year, well, specifically late in the summer after like Gamescom had occurred. There were rumors coming out that Nintendo's been showing off the next generation system to developers. President Shintaro Furukawa has denied these allegations and said that they are inaccurate and untrue. Of course, he's going to say that because, well, their focus is on this fiscal year, and yeah, they've said they are not releasing anything this fiscal year, which ends in March of 2024. So yeah, of course, they would not say anything about that. That makes absolutely also all the sense of the world. They would not say that. They would not also acknowledge that. I think when they finally start talking about that stuff to investors is after the fiscal year has closed, and when they look forward to fiscal year 2025, and then start to like get the investors excited about like potential new systems, without like spoiling it. Nintendo likes to announce stuff themselves before they like put down like the roadmap for investors, um, which makes sense, right? And specifically because recently we've been seeing new patents being made public that Nintendo filed, and there are some interesting ideas in there that they might use for the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it. I personally would love them to call it the Super Nintendo Switch, because that would be so perfect. Um, but yeah, of course, of course, he's gonna deny it. He's not gonna talk about that. It's too soon. If he talked about it now, it would like completely screw over their holiday sales, which they just released. They just announced some Black Friday bundles. New one, a new Black Friday bundle. Usually they have the Mario Kart Black Friday bundle, but they now also have the Smash Ultimate bundle with an OLED Switch. So they want to be able to sell those, and also a bundle with Joy-Con and Mario Superstar Party or whatever it's called. It was just the Joy Cons and like the download code for the game, so $100 or something. It's like okay, um, yeah. So of course they're not gonna say that during an investors meeting. What are you crazy? So yeah, there's that. Um, there's also in terms of announcements, like I said before in the beginning, GTA 6 might be getting announced very soon officially, with a trailer release. If anything, if they do announce it, uh, very soon, my money is on the game awards, because that's in a month. If they are going to show a trailer, it's going to be there. If they're just going to do an announcement without a trailer, it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. But if they're going to show a trailer, I don't think they're going to show a trailer just as is. They can, but I feel like if they waited specifically, if Jeff Keighley is Jeff Keighley is the Dorito Pope, if Jeff Keighley is the Dorito Pope, I'm pretty sure he would have um made it that they would debut GTA 6 officially in terms of like actual trailer at the Game Awards, because let's be real, that's what most people are watching the Game Awards for. Yes, the awards are also important because it is important to acknowledge hard work done in the game industry, and this is one of the ways that we can do it, outside of the Dice Awards, that's usually in March. Um, but yeah, like this is usually like the start of like award season, the Game Awards, and it's a perfect venue to have such a big announcement being announced there, right? To be shown off there. So if they do announce that GTA 6 is coming, I don't think we're going to see the trailer pop off, um, until, like, get like the Game Awards. If they do show off the trailer before the Game Awards, wow. Not that that's not unusual. It would be a little bit disappointing. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyways, before we end this episode, we have to talk about the big one, the big like breaking news. And I'm so glad that I waited before I started recording this episode, because holy crap, they're making a Zelda live action movie. I am I have opinions on this. Believe it or not. Oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Um yeah. So let's just go through the whole thing. Yeah, let's just go through the whole thing. That's where I want to start off with. All right. So They announced a live action movie that is in development currently. It is being like funded by Nintendo for 50%. And the other partner that is financing the movie and going to be distributing the movie is Sony Pictures Entertainment. So it's not Universal like they did with Super Mario Brothers, right? Because Universal slash Illumination were the ones that worked on that one. No, this one is Sony Pictures, and yeah, the ones that are going to be producing it, of course, are Nintendo themselves, and Arad Productions, um, helmed by Avi Arad, who originally helmed Marvel Studios before Kevin Feige came. Um, so like he worked on like the first like Iron, like he produced like the first Iron Man movie and stuff like that. Which, okay, that's good. Um, they're also responsible for Mobius, but they're also responsible for Into and Across the Spider Verse. So you can see where my hesitation lies. Like the production studio has worked on good stuff, and it's worked on questionable stuff. Um, they like outside of that, they also announced who is going to be the writer. Did I miss that one? I think I might have missed that one. Who's actually going to write it? I think the writer is someone that has worked on some actually multiple stuff. Dang, I have to like look it up. The director is going to be Wes Ball, who worked on a Maze Runner trilogy and is working on a new Planet of the Apes movie. Which, like, if you've seen the Maze Runner movies, I remember watching the first one because I've watched it at least twice. I think I've watched the second one once. I don't remember anything. It's been way too long. I might have to rewatch the whole trilogy again because I've never seen the third movie. So I don't know how that one is going to work. But I will say this: the first Maze Runner movie was actually pretty good. It was really well like shot, really well directed. I'm not gonna say like it was a bad movie or anything. It was pretty cool and suspenseful. Um, yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the one that he's currently working on. Okay, um, and dang it, I do not remember. I do not see who's going to be working, who's writing it. I don't. I can't tell right now. Yeah, but whoever the I do know that the person that's working on it is who's doing the writing for it is a pretty like has a pretty decent pedigree. I'll have to double check on it on that one. My apologies. But yeah, sorry, it just really caught me off guard, and like I'm trying to get all the necessary information that I possibly can. Um, but yeah, like the writer stuff only just got announced, so it's like kind of hard to like figure out who is doing the writing because the reportings is kind of all over the place. Um, but yeah, so that's okay. So is that everything? Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything for now. So let me put it this way. So I think when the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, after I saw it, I did talk about it on the podcast a little bit. And I remember saying specifically that if they're going to do a Zelda movie, I kind of want it to be a anime movie, not an animated movie, an anime, like a straight up anime movie, like by Studio Trigger or maybe Mappa or Madhouse, because I feel like they have the right set of like they have access to the right people to animate something as grandiose as a Zelda movie, right? That's how I feel about it. That's something that I would have loved to see, especially after seeing the you know, like the announcement trailer for specifically like Kid Icarus Pit in Smash Ultimate, where they announced Palutena. That one is 2D animated. That's 2D, and it's Link versus Pit, and it's pretty well animated. I mean, it's not like Studio Trigger level kind of stuff, but it's really cool animated. Like Link looks really cool, and the action looks actually like really good. So that got me excited for more than anything to have an anime style, um, like movie, because I feel like that fits the Zelda MO a bit better. I also I do realize there were rumors like years and years ago that they were working on a Zelda live action movie, but that never materialized, or we never saw really anything about it. Um, and yeah, like people have made fan like trailers of what a live action Zelda movie would be, and those are fine. But there are so many questions when it comes to like making a Zelda movie, since Link has always been a mute protagonist. So if you're gonna what, how are they gonna tackle this? Clearly, he's not gonna be a mute protagonist anymore. We're going to have a Link that will have voiced lines. Whether this would have been an anime movie or an animated 3D animated movie, Link will always get a voice. Who is going to play Link in the live action? Like people are already making memes like, oh, it's going to be Chris Pratt, because Chris Pratt plays everything. Or it's going to be Tom Holland, because they have worked with Tom Holland before with that same production studio, because they also produced the Uncharted movies, and of course the new Spider-Man trilogy. The Homecoming, Far Away from Home, No Way Home, which also starred Tom Holland. So you have to think, okay, would they cast Tom Holland as Link? I don't know. They may go for a very unconventional like actor. Maybe they go for someone new and unknown. Um, at this point in time, it's kind of weird that they announced it in this way, because they just like announced it on Twitter. Um, Miyamoto's going to be co-producing it. That's like I think he also co-produced the Super Mario movie. So like at least they're like Nintendo once again will be hands on this project, boded which did pretty well for like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Some things that they probably could have done better, like crediting people properly at the end, would have been nice. Um, but yeah, it's. I am very conflicted about this because it's live action. And yes, we did just have the live action One Piece TV show, and that actually was good. Kudos to that team. But I feel like they were bound to actually get a win, considering that all their live actions on Netflix based on anime all kind of suck butt. um, but yeah, this is Nintendo staking their own money on it, so I have to feel that they are going to do their best to have it be cast appropriately, have the story be written according to probably like their design bibles and whatnot. We're probably going to see a lot of changes to the Zelda universe. Please do not bring the gosh darn timeline into this crap. This movie is not going to do anything with the timeline. It's not going to be interacting anything. Like if they do decide to just retell a story that has already been told, as in a if they're just going to remake a game into a movie, that's not going to end well. I'm going to say that much. um I feel like if they're going to do anything, they're going to make an original story like they did with Mario. That's not saying a lot. I mean, come on, it's not like they were going to make like the Super Mario 64 movie or the Super Mario Odyssey movie. um Although I would like to see that. No, 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 no. We're not gonna give them any ideas. Um, I don't know. This feels very conflicting to me. I did not want a live action Zelda movie. I'm going to be honest. I know that a lot of people out there have been wanting a live action Zelda movie for years. I am not one of those people. I have never wanted a live action Zelda movie because I know that they would screw it up because it's Hollywood. Hollywood's very bad at that right now, especially with the the strike still going on. Yeah, the writer strike's over, so the writer can actually work on writing the story, but they can't cast anybody outside of Scabs. And I really hope they're not gonna like hire Scabs because like what would the quality be of that? Ugh. Um, yeah, so they have no actors to choose from because the actors are on strike. SAG-AFTRA is still on strike. So when is this movie coming to come out? Probably still years away because how are you gonna cast people if they're all still on strike? So I don't know when we'll see the cast of this movie. I'm pretty sure that the movie will get a lot of rewrites in the meantime. I don't know who's doing the screenplay for this, but y'all got your work cut out for you. I'm gonna say that right now. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Super Mario Brothers actually movie actually did set a bar. If you suck, if you underperform that, and you kind of kill the Zelda IP, oh boy, I kind of feel that Nintendo might actually like retract themselves from the movie industry right then and there. So please, please make it a good movie. That's all we're asking for. Just be a good movie, and then everything will be okay. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Mm, yeah. Can you tell that I'm conflicted? Oh, I'm so conflicted about this announcement and the fact that this movie is a thing. I'm so conflicted. But anyway, I'm just gonna end it there. Sorry, like I said, it was probably gonna take them up the most time. I actually kept it quite concise. So again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you're again watching this on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe so that you can keep up to date with the podcast. If you're listening to this on a podcasting service, we're on every podcasting service. Spotify is our home. We're on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Overcast, you name it, we're probably there. So don't forget to subscribe there as well. You can always reach me on Instagram at Maximilian underscore X. I'm always streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays and any day in between whenever possible on Twitch, twitch.tv/Maximilian underscore X. You can also reach us via email, gamerivalsfeedback at gmail.com. You can also, I think, no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, so that's it. And as always, I have been and always will be Maximilian X, and I will see all of you beautiful rivals next time. Later.